Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwantner and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today we have the pleasure of meeting with Haley Katzman. She is Head of Account Development with HighSpot. Welcome, Haley.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So you in the sales enablement space, and I'd be curious, how do you define sales enablement?
Well, it's a great question because a lot of people define it in a different way. So, one of the things that we've seen is how it's kind of transitioned over the past couple of years. And what we're seeing is that there's really kind of two main areas of sales enablement. One is really around enabling salespeople with training, education, onboarding, all the content and sales materials that they need to be successful in their role. And then the other side is really about making sure once they're actually in the position, making sure they're efficient and as productive as possible.
So you know about the Sales Enablement Society and the growth of this society. How do you explain that growth of the sales enablement profession?
That's a great question. We actually just launched the Seattle chapter of the Sales Enablement Society a couple weeks ago and have had 2 meetings since, so it's been great to see it grow. But I think the reason that we're seeing it grow so much today is that we're really seeing a shift in the sales process, both in the way that companies go to market. It's much more focused around the buyer, around the customer, rather than about the product or the specific thing that you're selling. And also the people that are in the sales force have changed, right? You have a lot more millennials, younger people, and those people really need to be empowered and educated on how to go and have more of a consultative sales approach rather than just kind of pushing a product or idea, having an automated process saying the same thing over and over again. And so if you want to be successful in really empowering your salespeople to go and educate buyers and have a consultative sales process, you have to have something in place to really enable them, right?
Right. So what does a sales enablement platform do?
Good question. If you think about a salesperson, every minute counts, right? Time is money. And so, whether the person's, in their CRM, whether they're in email, whether they're doing, an in-person meeting, they need to have quick and easy access to everything that they need to engage their customers. And so a sales enablement platform or technology should do that. And it should also provide leadership with analytics to understand what's working and what's not working to optimize the business.
So there are really 2 parts to it. One is the information that salespeople need to educate themselves so they can educate the customer. But also it's about the processes that are necessary to reach their goal.
Yep, and then it's really about, we've seen a couple times, recently in these past couple of days, you can't measure what you can't see, right? And so it's about having accurate analytics that are actionable so that you can really optimize the business.
So then the benefits obviously are that you bring a sales team to a higher level of performance, and also you accelerate the onboarding. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you think about what happens with most companies will have a boot camp or an initial onboarding process, right? And then they kind of get passed off. They might do some additional training specific to their role, and then managers might do some coaching throughout the sales process, right? So what we see today happen a lot of the times is that you'll go through the initial onboarding and then they'll retain about 20% of those materials, right? And so in shortening the ramp process, it's about providing the training and context. So not just saying, here's what you need to know, memorize it. Here's what you need to know, here's how you're actually going to use it, and then let them get into the sales process earlier so that you can shorten that ramp time and continue the training and the coaching throughout. You don't have to worry to make sure that they've retained all this information up front and hold them back from getting started. Especially the younger generation, they want to learn, they want to get their hands dirty, they want to learn in the process. They're not just going to sit in a classroom and retain everything that you've taught them.
So there are a number of competitors in that space. What makes HighSpot really different?
Our platform is extremely intuitive, extremely easy to use. And so, if you're going to make a huge investment in a technology, the salesperson has to use it, right? And so because we've taken a lot of best practices from the internet, kind of subliminally, you'll see that it's very similar to how you'd use Amazon or Pinterest, those types of things. Salespeople love using it. The reviews, if you look on like Salesforce or G2 Crowd, it's pretty hysterical how much they love it, right? So because they're actually using it.
The interface looks really good.
Exactly. It's intuitive, it's easy to use, there aren't bugs in it, those types of things, right? And then the second piece is the analytics, right? So, there's a lot of technologies, even outside of sales enablement, that will give you, canned reports, and they'll tell you, these are the analytics that you should be looking at, right? And what our analytics allow you to do is really pivot the data based on your business. So it's not just us saying, here's what you should be looking at. It's us collecting all of the data, using our machine learning, our artificial intelligence, and then saying, you can pivot the data to look at things that make sense for your business, right? Who are my top performers? What content's most effective? All those types of things. And no other platforms will give you that ability to adjust on the analytics.
Well, congratulations to your amazing success in that space.
Thank you.
And anybody who'd like to get more information, go to highspot.com. Thanks,
Thank
Amy.
you.